Okay, so I think I lied to y'all. Originally, I said that I had no problems in my first trimester. Well, that's not entirely true. As you guys know, I did IVF, and with IVF, you do have a chance of getting a subchorionic hematoma. You can Google it, but pretty much I had a pocket that was in between the placenta and the uterus that was filled with blood. So once a week, I pretty much had a period. And I do mean a period. Like, it was cramps and I was passing blood clots. Okay? I'm just keeping it real. I don't ever want to sugarcoat shit. And it was so much blood that, like, I would be changing my pads, like, very, very often. The first time it happened, I was at home and it was like a murder scene. So bad to the point where I had to go to the doctor because I was like, listen, this is a miscarriage. I already know. I get to the hospital, I'm hysterical, and I don't even look at the ultrasound. Like, I don't even want to look because I'm like, I'm not putting myself mentally through this again. I don't need to see. I know that this is a miscarriage. The girl does the ultrasound and she's like, girl, your baby is doing backflips. I'm looking at my husband like, what'd she just say to me? Because why she lying to make me feel better? I end up looking at the ultrasound. The baby's fine. The second time it happened again, I was on my way to the doctor, like, for my OB checkup. And, like, literally, I get to the back, they do an ultrasound to see if the baby's fine. And then I go to the back, they're like, hey, we need a sample just to check your pee. As soon as she said, can I check your pee? I'm, like, gushing blood on the table. It was like, I'm so sorry. Do you have a mat? The OB was like, okay, we're just gonna do a just secondary cautionary checkup, go back, get an ultrasound, and we'll see how it looked. Baby was fine. That lasted like 6 weeks. Once a week, I would have a really bad gushing of blood, and then it'd be done. Like, I could almost time it. Again, it was like having a period, just once a week instead of once a month. Each time it happened, it did get less and less and less. Like I said, it's a hole. It's not a hole, it's a pocket of blood that is preventing the placenta from attaching in a certain spot on the uterus. I think mine was so many centimeters or millimeters. I don't know. I don't remember, but it lasted about 6 weeks. So it was pretty big. But again, it kept getting less and less each time. Once I realized that this was like a normal, like, it's going to happen once a week thing, I would just wear, like, I hate to say Depends, but I did. I was working. So I was just like, okay, when it would happen, I'd be like, okay, I'm passing. It'd be done. I would change my diaper and then I would go on about my day because your girl had to work. But all that to say, make sure you find a doctor that listens to you. I've had so many doctors. My first IVF doctor told me that I wasn't in pain and that they were going to hold off on having me come in even though I felt like crap, and I told her I felt like crap. And one thing about me, I'm not going to complain about anything unless it's like to the point where I'm like, okay, I cannot function. Like, what is pain? When you've had endometriosis and you've had fibroids, what is pain? I'm pretty sure I could give birth naturally because I know pain. You hear me? Anywho, the OB that I had originally, like right after I graduated from IVF. So typically you do IVF you do your shots before, and then you get pregnant and they monitor you for like 10 weeks, I think. And then they graduate you and then you go to the OB. When I graduated, I went to the OB that my IVF doctor recommended. And there's been a few times I'll be like, hey, I'm concerned. I think this is this. Do the research. And they would be like, no, that's not what it is. Okay, if it's not, that's fine. But you could at least say, okay, well, let me get you in so I can check and see what it is, or we can confirm or deny, debunk that theory. Don't tell me no. I work in the medical field. You're not going to tell me no, okay? You're going to have to give me a little more of a reason why it's not, and prove to me that it's not. I originally told him I had endo, and he was like, no, how do you know? That's not something you would know unless you did surgery, blah, blah, blah. You don't have endo. You probably just have really bad fibroids. He cut me open, and what did I have? Endo. One thing I'm going to say is we as females are very in tune with our bodies. So if I'm telling you I have something, or I feel like I have something, or I'm concerned about something, it's because I know like something is wrong. I'm not complaining. I'm not a complainer. I have lived many, many years. I think I didn't finally get diagnosed with endometriosis since I was 30. So I lived 30 years. And I think I got my period when I first turned 13. So whatever the math is, and then I'm not doing it. Whatever the years is on that, I knew something was wrong. I've thugged it out. I've taken medicine. I've gone to school. I've gone to work. I am a thug. Okay? So if I'm complaining to you about something, very much something, it's because I'm at the point where I'm like, I'm about to break. Or I know I figured it out and I need you to help me diagnose it and help me fix it. You're not going to sit up here and tell me I ain't got something. At least without doing the proper like testing and whatnot. So yeah, I left him. We broke up. And I found a really good doctor here in Dallas. She's Black. And I am not like, listen, I know y'all be like, go get you a Black doctor, blah, blah, blah. I've had Black doctors and they told me I've been dramatic. I've had Africans specifically sit up here and say, you're fine. Take some Tylenol, extra strength if the regular is not taking you where you need to go, or take some ibuprofen because you're fine. You don't think you're being over dramatic. And I've literally wanted to go back and cuss them out because I'm like, you're not going to sit up here and tell me that I'm being dramatic. And again, I've left them because, baby, I pay you. I pay you. It ain't the other way around. So I will leave you in a heartbeat. We will break up and I will find somebody else. The OB that I have now is amazing. She listens. She gives me advice. She tells me when I'm doing too much. She tells me, let's hold back. Like, I would recommend her over and over and over again. So if you're in Dallas and you need a doctor, please try Dr. Parnell. Her whole office is really good. I like Dr. Pompey as well. And then I forget her name, but it's like something Berg or Stein or something, whatever. She's really good as well. You meet the whole office when you're there, but I'm ride or die for Parnell, Pompey, and the other lady. And I also think I had a uterine prolapse, which is wild. And the same guy doctor that I had, you couldn't have had that. That's impossible, blah, blah, blah. So I go to the doctor in New York and they're like, yeah, you had a uterine prolapse. And I'm like, oh, thanks. Yeah, first trimester, I mean, it was cool. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I didn't have any morning sickness or whatever, but it was pretty wild. Like what did happen and it happened in a big way, but we made it through. My baby is just fine. Okay, next video will be about second trimester.